Good morning, guys, at grade 8. Welcome back. Today, inshallah, we're gonna start in section 3 of chapter 4. We talk about sedimentary rock. So, as we studied in the first section of that chapter, we studied the rock cycle, and we know that the rocks already are classified into three major categories: igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. And we know that each rock could change to another within a huge cycle or great rock cycle, depend on the processes or the conditions which the rock will expose to. It will change to a new type of rock. So today, inshallah, we're going to talk about in details about the sedimentary rock. So by the end of that lesson, we should be able to describe the origin of sedimentary rock and describe the three main categories of sedimentary rock, and finally describe the three types of sedimentary structure. So let's start here, guys. Once we ask what is the origin of a sedimentary rock, if we ask from where we get a sedimentary rock, so simply could recall that from the first section in that chapter. We could remember that sedimentary rock, they are rocks which form it from other types of rocks. So sedimentary rock is already formed from metamorphic or igneous rock. Once they exposed to a group of processes, weathering, erosion, deposition, pressure and sedimentation, and so on. So here let's remember this. So we said that, as we can see, wind, water, ice, sunlight, and gravity, all these are factors of weathering and erosion. So once a rock, okay, sedimentary rock or metamorphic, exposed to weathering factor, wind, water, ice, and sunlight for a long time, that will cause, okay, cracks and small pieces of rocks will be broken, or the rock will be broken. Small rock pieces of rocks, we call them sediments. Then these sediments will be eroded. Eroded, that means they will be transferred from their place to another place. Okay, so that first we call it erosion. Erosion could happen because of water, because of the gravity, glaciers, okay, whatever, anything that could push these pieces of rocks from its original place to another place. Once the sediments reach the new place, or that means the factors which already carry the sediments from its position to the new position, this factor is not able to push rocks anymore. The rocks will deposit. Deposit, that means gonna fall down or be dropped in a certain place. So the sediment is deposited or gonna be dropped, and it will form a layer of these sediments. These sediments will just later will cement to each other or will stick to each other, forming a layer of sedimentary rock. Then year after year, new layers will be added. Okay, so like that, the most important thing about sedimentary rocks, that usually we find sedimentary rocks are found in layers. Each layer represents a group of processes and represents certain time in which that rock is forming. So here we're gonna find, so we said the most feature, or the most visible feature or noticeable feature about sedimentary rock, that it's found in layer. We call this layer strata. Okay, so strata means the different layers of rock. As you can see here in that image, you can find the art that represents sedimentary rocks. You could observe different layers. They may be different in texture, in color, thickness. So you could easily observe that they are layers. Why they are layers? Because actually they are not formed once. Okay, they formed in different years. Okay, so each layer has certain characteristics, and that means certain composition and texture different than the other layers based on the type of rock which they already formed from, and already, okay, the time it needed to build this layer up. So here we see that a single horizontal layer of rock, okay, is sometimes visible for many miles. That means could maybe that may one layer could extend for many miles. That will be a huge layer, okay, or sometimes it will be very thin layer, okay, depend on, as we said, the time that the sediments take to build up. So here we said that once we try to classify the sedimentary rock, we could classify sedimentary rock depend on the composition and the structure, as we know. So regarding to the structure, we remember that we could classify rocks based on the structure to fine-grained or coarse-grained. Fine-grained, they are rocks which have small particles, okay, or that means the size of its grains is not that big, so it appears to be smooth or fine. While coarse-grained, okay, they are the rocks which have big particles, okay, that means their grains is too big, so they have coarse grains, or they appear to have rough texture. So here we said that. Let's find about the composition. So we said that sedimentary rock is classified by the way it forms. That means how does it form? So we have first category here, clastic sedimentary rock. So what is clastic sedimentary rock? We said that it's sedimentary rock which is made of fragments of rock cemented together by a mineral such as calcite or quartz. That means after sediments are already deposited or after they dropped. Okay, we said that sediments supposed to stick each other or they pass by process cementation in which they are gonna stick. So what is the glue? What is the material which is gonna stick these sediments to each other? Actually, the sediments or the cement which form between them is just a kind of mineral. So if that mineral is silicate or quartz that cause the sediments to stick to each other, so we're gonna say they are clastic sedimentary rock. So here the clastic sedimentary rock, again, they are the rock which is formed due to cementation of pieces or the segments by quartz or silicate. So here like this we could also find that uh, these silicates, sedimentary rock, they may have fine-grained or large or fine-grained. That means it will be smooth texture, or even they could be coarse texture. Okay, so regarding if you back to the book, you're gonna find, for example, shale. Okay, that have a fine-grained siltstone. It's also a plastic sediment rock, which is rougher a little, okay, than shale and so on. While we find, for example, conglomerate is a very rough plastic sediment rock. So here, plastic sediment rocks, okay, as we said, they could have coarse grain, medium grain, or even fine grain based on the size of the particles which are found in. So here is the second group, okay, of sediment rock, which is chemical sediment rock. So what is chemical sediment rock? Chemical sediment rock, it's rock which is formed from solution of dissolved mineral and water. What does it mean? Simply here, we know that some minerals they could dissolve in water, or already water have a lot of minerals that dissolve it in. If you don't believe that, you can pick up a water bottle, okay, and look at to the ingredients which is already written. You are gonna find there are a lot of minerals, or they are written here. The minerals represent about 1% or 2%. So here, for example, also we know that the salty water really have a large amount of NaCl, which is the halite, the table salt. Okay, it's a mineral. So like this water already have some dissolved minerals. So if the concentration of the salts, it means the amount of the salts in the water is too much, and then this water exposed to enough amount of heat because of the sunlight, the water will evaporate, okay, and then later, okay, these minerals will solidify, or this mineral will deposit and solidify, forming a sedimentary. So here we said that as the rainwater slowly makes its way to the ocean, it dissolves some of the rocks as dissolve some of the rocks, okay, and pick some of minerals within the water, okay. Then some of these dissolved material eventually crystallize and forms the mineral that make up a chemical sedimentary rock. Okay, so here that means we could observe, for example, that halite considered to be a chemical sedimentary rock. Yes, halite is a chemical sedimentary rock because it's already a mineral that dissolved in water, salty water, and once the water exposed to the evaporation process because of the heat of sunlight, the water will evaporate and the NaCl of the sodium chloride will deposit, forming a layer of sedimentary rock. Okay, so here like this, we know two important things like this, okay, that we classify the sedimentary rock based on how they are formed, or how they are, what the difference in their structure. So we classify them into clastic sedimentary rocks and chemical sedimentary rock. Okay, so we have a third category which is organic sedimentary rock. So what is organic sedimentary rock? Actually, organic sedimentary rock is made up of the skeleton and shells of sea animals. Yeah, that's here a new thing. Yep, as animals die and they already gonna be buried underground. Okay, so their skeletons and shells they will decompose, and some of their structure, the solid part of these skeletons and shells, which is hardly to be decomposed, they are gonna remain and be collected on the ocean floor, and later these parts will cement to each other, and they were gonna stick to each other, so they are gonna form a kind of sedimentary rock. So here, organic sedimentary rock, okay, they already forming because of the cementation of the remains and the skeleton shields of dead bodies. So first, that's more common under the ocean floor because ocean floor we have a lot of living organisms that they have shales, and at the same time, okay, under ocean floor the number of living organisms and diversity is more. Besides that, already the water contains a lot of the material that easily could cement this each other, plus the pressure of the water that is already formed above this remains. So here we find that, for example, coral, okay, are very small, but they live in huge colonies. That's the called the reefs. Okay, so once they already their skeleton, the sea animals which are made of calcium carbonate collected on the ocean floor. These animals remains eventually they are gonna cement and they or will form kind of the sedimentary rock or organic sedimentary rock. Okay, so here, for example, like the phosphorus, okay, limestone. So phosphorus limestone, that means it's a kind of sedimentary rock which is formed the remains and the particles that is already formed by the skeletons and shells of living organisms. Okay, so here like that we could find that we have three different types of sedimentary rock. Okay, we have this plastic sedimentary rock, then we have chemical sedimentary rock and organic sedimentary rock. Another example of organic sedimentary rock that coal that we use it, okay, to get energy or burning and something like this. So coal is a type of organic sedimentary rock that is formed when the decomposed plant's material is buried beneath the sediments and it's changed in by increasing heat and pressure. That means the skeleton and the other particles of especially plants, once they buried under the ground, okay, under high pressure and temperature, over time they will change to form coal. So here that represent an organic sedimentary rock also. So here like this, okay, we find that the different types of sedimentary rock, okay. So again, what are the three different types of sedimentary rock? Plastic sedimentary rock, chemical sedimentary rock, and organic sedimentary rock. What difference between them? Plastic sedimentary rock happen when the sediments already are cemented together by quartz or silicate, while chemical sedimentary rock they are formed once the mineral which are dissolved in water they are gonna be deposited in cement and forming a layer, okay, of sedimentary rock like we said light which is dissolved in water, and finally organic sedimentary rock, that the rock which is formed from the skeleton and the shells of the sea animals or even the animal parts that's already buried underground. Okay, so here are the different types of sedimentary rock. Finally, and the last part in our lesson, sedimentary rock structure. What are the shapes that sedimentary rock could form? As we said here, okay, sedimentary rock already are formed in layers and we call them strata. So here we could find some features, okay, that represent how the rock is formed. The most important feature, which is the stratification, okay, that means the formation of the layers or how the layers are appeared. So stratification is the process in which the sediment rocks are arranged in layers. So strata differ from one another depending on the kind, size, color, and the sediments. That means I could sometimes, once we look to a mountain that made of sedimentary rock, we're gonna find this mountain have different layers and different colors. These different colors based on the structure of the different layers of the structure of the different sediment rocks which form each layer. Okay, and also we are gonna find, okay, they may have different size. So if that layer or that process of deposition take a long time, that means the weathering, corrosion, and deposition of a certain kind of rock lasts for many years. So of course they will build a huge layer of sedimentary rock, but it just takes a few times, so that will build a very thin layer of sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rock, okay, also the most important thing about them that they could record the motion, okay, of wind and the water, waves or lakes or ocean rivers. That means we could find that here once because sediment rocks are made of sediments, small pieces of rocks. So if a strong wind just pass over them, these pieces of rocks will move. Okay, they will draw a kind or features, or just they are gonna make shapes that represent the direction of the wave, the water, even the wind, or like this. Okay, so this feature or this marks, we call them the ripple marks. Sometimes if you are walking, okay, in windy day, we're gonna find the sand which is already found. If you are looking to a sand place, we're gonna find that the sand have certain marks on this, okay, on it. We call this ripple marks, which represent how strong and what is the direction of the wind. Plus that also we have something called mud cracks. What are mud cracks? That's some common here. You can find ones, okay, if you have a garden or something like this. So once we irrigate the soil and the sediments start to absorb a large amount of water, and then, okay, after layer, this water will be dry or will be evaporated. So you're gonna find the mud start to make some kind of cracks. Okay, so this we call this mud cracks also. Okay, that's one of the features which is that so here also, once you come out, okay, and you find sometimes you observe that the sand or the sediments they have the marks represent that there was a raining or there are some raindrops here, which means, okay, the sediment rock also could record that raindrops, okay, impressions or the parts, okay, or represent the raindrops particles, okay, on it. So here, all this, guys, something that represents a pilot or could give us a hint about how the environment in this place look like for a certain period of time. So like this, guys, we end our lesson. It's very easy. Please study it well from your textbook, and if you have any questions, please back. Thank you. Goodbye.